One of the most important parts of the culture of footy is end-to-end. You can do it at York Park, you can do it at North Hobart, or you can do it in the cul-de-sac outside your own house. This week's footy culture begins in a suburban cul-de-sac in Rochalee, where the boys from the Lilydale Football Club gather for their pre-game routine. Every Saturday morning, the boys come outside Heath Bird's house to stretch it out, have a kick and talk up that day's big game. So Heath, this is your standard Saturday morning routine?
Yeah, the boys come up and we have a bit of a kick in the cul-de-sac. It's not too bad. Get the old legs pumping. Yeah, it's good.
Do you ever upset the neighbours here?
No, they're pretty old round here.
Yeah.
No, don't upset them much.
You haven't put a ball through a window?
No, we've had them in the cactus over there, but we popped a few, but that's not to worry.
And you're playing Branksholme today? They're on top of the ladder?
They are, yes.
Tough to beat?
They will be, but we're quite confidently, so we should be able to knock them off.
And you've played all your footy for Lilydale?
Yeah, I've been there 10 years now.
Yeah. What's your highlight been?
Under 16 grand final when we beat St Helens.
Yeah.
That would be probably the highlight of my career so far.
You haven't won a flag since then?
No. I've only won one.
But the guys have been going pretty well this year. You said haven't lost by more than 18 points?
We haven't lost by more than 3 goals, so we're there, but we've just got to work on a few things, so hopefully we can do that today and get a win.
It's about 20 k's up the road to the ground.
Yep.
And that 20 k's back after the game in the club room. It must be a more difficult journey.
Yeah, I've got the missus, she brings me home, which is good. Yeah.
I had a couple more kicks with the boys, one of which went horribly off the side of the boot, before driving 20 minutes further northeast to Lilydale. Mark Stone couldn't tell us anything about Lilydale, but my dad did assure me it used to be called Germantown, but the name was changed after the First World War. It certainly is a very, very beautiful town. And the ground committee had been working overtime to make sure we knew exactly where to go to get to the Oval. The Oval itself is very beautifully located, situated under the green rolling hills of the northeast, which we all know are populated with Tasmanian tigers and foxes. I'm sitting on what must be the coach's chair in the classical, very large change rooms here at Lilydale Oval. The Lilydale Football Association was formed in 1921 and involved many teams from the area playing against each other. Now the 20s and 30s were pretty tough times, so much so that Club Bangor had one of its administrators steal all the Guernseys, head into the city and sell them to buy a ticket for the mainland. Neither the Guernseys nor the administrator were ever seen again. After the Second World War, Lilydale joined the East Tamar and then Tamar associations, and in 1985 joined the NEFU. Today, they're taking on ladder leaders Branksholme. The Branksholme boys were out early going through their paces in a more structured version of end-to-end. They met the umpires who wished them all the best for the big game, and I met up with Branksholme rub-down man Craig Barnes. Craig, are these the best change rooms in the area?
Just at Lilydale they are, yeah, but there is some better ones around. We've been in worse, we've been out in the rain with our club rooms and so on and so forth, but they're okay, they do the job. It gets pretty cold and wet here at times, but yeah, they're okay.
And you got involved in massage after having a bit of an injury yourself, is that right?
Yeah, I had an injury at work and I was going to Wayne Miller, the World Cold Shoveling champ, and Wayne does massage. He's a professional at that. And I learned some tips off Wayne, and Wayne taught me a few things, and I just passed on to these guys here.
Are there many injuries and strains playing out here? It wouldn't get too cold out here in the beautiful northeast of Tassie, would it?
No, she can get a bit cold, yeah. Oh, it's pretty rough over here at times, yeah. Some of the clubs are pretty hard. Yeah, you get some of the clubs, Ringarooma and Winaleer, tough clubs. Last week we had a tough game. They're big guys at Bridport. Yeah, it was a hard game. We put up with it though, yeah. There is a few strains and, yeah, tackles.
While the younger of the two umpires was practising his bouncing technique, the elder statesman, the Norm Gregory of northeastern footy, gave us a wave. Birdie led the Lilydale boys out on the ground, and in the first quarter, as they'd done earlier in the year, Lilydale got the jump on the ladder leaders, snapping some great goals. Meanwhile, the Branksholme midfield was putting the pressure on young Birdie, but he responded in kind, snapping a beauty of his own. Lilydale went to the quarter-time break 23 points up, but I noticed some of the local kids had been caged, so I decided to make a closer inspection and find out just what was going on. Today we're talking in the scoreboard with Emma. Emma, how long have you been working in the scoreboard for?
I started about this year probably.
Yep, so all season so far?
Yeah, all the home games.
How much do you get paid for working in the scoreboard?
It's $5 and you split it between people which are in the scoreboard.
Oh, so do you prefer to do it by yourself?
Yep.
And what's the highest score you've seen?
Probably 169.
169. Is it sometimes hard to add up?
Probably, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. What's 9 times 6?
54.
What's 12 times 6?
No. 72.
What's 16 times 6?
I have no idea.
16 times 6?
No.
Now, how many people have you had in the scoreboard?
The highest will probably be about 7 or 5.
Okay. So if you have 7, that's like 80 cents each.
Yeah.
And what's it like being stuck behind the cage here?
It's sort of annoying because when you look out on the game, you get all these squares in your eyes and it's hard to see.
Little chip, handball inside, runs inside 40, lines up, kicks a goal, yes.
In the second quarter, tempers flared after Branksome put on a couple of quick goals. And while Birdie was still trying hard in the centre for Lilydale, the Branksome midfield were full of running all quarter. They finished it off kicking this absolute beauty right in the siren to go to half-time 9 points up. Meanwhile, I searched through the crowd for the grandma and grandpa of northeastern footy, Daphne Brown and George Coates. Was the footy different the way it was played in your day?
Yes, kicking and marking in days. They didn't run near as much as they do now.
They didn't train much either, apparently.
Well, they didn't have to. They worked too hard to train. Yes.
And I believe, Daphne, you got called onto the ground today. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, I heard daff, daff, daff and didn't know where it was coming from and jumped out of the car and had to scale under 2 fences. There was a player with his finger dislocated and he wasn't allowed to leave the ground, so I had to reach over the boundary, put the finger back in and go on. He went on his way and so did I.
Did he make a noise when you put the finger back in?
Yes, they're very painful to put back in. He did, he went, oh! I said, she's right.
With 300 or 400 cows surrounding the ground, I felt certain I could find a steak sandwich to rival Bernie's West Park Canteen. Here we are in the Lilydale Canteen, my favourite part of football life, and that's the taste test. Sue, tell us what things you have to taste here at Lilydale Canteen.
Normal stuff, pies, pasties, saveloys, homemade soup.
What goes in your homemade soup, Sue?
Lots of fresh veggies. Lots of pumpkin and carrot and swedes, local produce.
And you let the opposition players drink it too?
Oh yeah. We're not greedy here at Lilydale.
Now there's plenty of local produce here. Have you thought about the steak sandwich? There seem to be a few steak sandwiches walking around on the hills outside.
Oh yes, but no, my secret is roux patties.
Really?
I feed the boys those on, not today though, you wouldn't know because they're not going so well, but no, feed them up on roux patties on Thursday nights, that's the way to go.
Fantastic. Now the saveloys here, people like a split salve in Lilydale?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, usually.
Do they ask for split salves?
Yep.
Do they get upset if they're not split?
No, not really. They're pretty easy.
What's the secret to a good salve?
I don't know, but ours are homemade. Oh, well, not homemade, but they're handmade. They're not the processed stuff, so...
Can you tell us what's in a handmade salve?
No. It's a bit like my roux patties. That's a secret recipe too, you know.
Okay. Can I try one of the saveloys here?
Sauce?
Yes, please. That'd be great.
Okay. Here you go.
Well, it's a little while since I've had a saveloy in the taste test. Could you hold the microphone, please, Sue?
Can, yep.
A saveloy at the Lilydale Canteen. Here we go. Oh, it's hot. Very, very nice. I give that 8.1 out of 10. As I digested my homemade salve, the crowd settled themselves down in readiness for the second half. And it was no disappointment. It was a typically tough, hard-at-the-ball country affair, with players diving themselves on top of every pack situation. Branksome, however, showed why they're the ladder leaders and the premiership favourites. With plenty of leg speed through the midfield, they began to dominate. However, Lilydale did stick with them for most of the second half and showed plenty of spark. But in the end, the ladder leaders ran out fairly comfortable winners by 20 points. What do you think was the difference that got them over the line?
Their running game, I think. They ran the ball a bit quicker, a bit faster. That's what got us undone, I think.
Yep. You said it would be a physical game, and it was. There were a few incidents out there?
Yes, there's a couple of reports, so good night at the tribunal tonight, so, well, not to worry.
Is the tribunal tonight, is it?
Yeah, it'll be tonight down the hall, I reckon.
Do you want to have a look back in the video and check your black eye incident?
Nah, that's all right. I'll have a look when we come in here one night.
Good luck in the showers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Really is true country footy out here, isn't it? It's very friendly off the ground and very tough on the ground.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've had a couple of years at statewide, and this is a football that I sort of like. You know, you play hard, but after the game you get together and you have a beer with them. And
What's the best thing about the NEFU association?
it's a very tight-knit competition. The towns and the clubs really do survive on their footy. It'd be it wouldn't be a very good place to live in the union if there wasn't the football. You go to a Branksome training night and there'd probably be a dozen to 15 past players, retired workers. They just get together and just love to reminisce about football, love to support and I think every club in the union's like that.
After a tough day of interviewing, football commentating and taste testing, there's nothing better than retiring to the club rooms for a couple of quiet ones with the local lads. But on this particular evening in Lilydale, I also got to hear a very unique and special speech on country footy.
Well, I think the country football is the best. $5 to get in, it's a good family show. And I'll tell you what, you can't beat it. Why? Go elsewhere and pay heaps when the footy at the local level and it's good football. I tell you, she's the best, mate.